All right, and I'm going to give you the lowdown. I got a Tom Tom podcast on the line right here. I'm calling random people just to see how they're doing, how your life's going. I just want to talk to you. Here you go.
Hello there.
Hey,
I'm a podcast in America.
you have a podcast?
Yeah. And so
What's the name?
the Tom Tom Show.
The Time Show. All right. The Time Show.
Show. Did you see in the chat there? I put a link.
Oh, Tom Show.
Yeah.
I heard Time Show.
But
Oh shit! I found it. That's crazy.
yeah. And so I just call people around the world and just see how they're doing, see what's new, what you've been up to. If you're game for
I
it.
mean, yeah, sure. I mean, nothing much, honestly. I'm just struggling with uni, honestly.
With what?
University.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Wow. No, I talked to a guy the other day in Sweden who was having to take his final exams and stuff. Do you mean you're struggling with the content, or you're just busy as hell?
Just busy as hell.
What are you studying?
Computer science.
Oh, are you? That's cool.
So, like, how old are you?
I am 50. I just turned 50.
Crazy.
I know. Does that sound pretty old to you?
Yeah, that sounds like ancient. Are you married and stuff?
Yeah. I'm married. I got 2 little ones. Except they're not little ones anymore. One of them is your age. So. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Things are good.
That's crazy.
Romania? Is that where you are?
Yeah.
It's so funny on this tool. Sometimes a country pops up, but then it turns out to be somebody in Chicago or something. I'm like, what?
No, I know. I've talked to plenty like Americans, quote unquote, and that was from anywhere but America.
Yeah. How are things in Romania?
Oh, brother, they are interesting, I guess, politically speaking.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I don't know if you know what's been happening.
No, I don't. I know that you're near the Ukraine, and that's basically all I know.
I mean, to put it simply, I don't know, Putin is just trying to conquer the world.
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening.
Yeah. So is that stressful for you? Or it's
Not at all. It's been I mean, there's been kind of a ruckus recently politically because what the man does, I mean, it's really shadowed. Is like you don't know for sure, although you know, but you can prove it. Basically, is what I'm trying to say is that this guy just hires people to run for president in different countries.
Oh, yeah.
Those countries being, for example, Romania, France, Georgia. I don't know if anything happened in Germany as well, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, recently like 1 million people went to the capital in Georgia, which is crazy, to riot or something.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's the thing, is if all the politicians end up crooked or evil, then the people are going to speak up and start taking action. So
I don't even think it's because it's crooked or anything. It's just because straight up they support Russia.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know, they don't even try to hide it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you support somebody that's crooked, you're pretty much crooked yourself, really.
I guess.
I mean, anything I say is just my opinion. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. That's why I like this podcast, because it's just about human connection, and it can just cut through all that stuff. In a sense, none of that stuff matters at times, right? What's also important is just connecting. But no,
interesting.
Tell me what you think, because if you disagree with me, I want to hear that too.
I don't. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Tell me about computer science. How's the market? How's finding a job? How is everything in general?
Yeah, you know what? I've been almost spoiled my whole life, because I'm in the Midwest of America, and whenever I needed to go find a job, there was a job available. So I don't know what it's like right now, because I don't have any desire to change jobs, but at least throughout my career, I was pretty lucky in terms of being able to get work. And I don't even know what the market is like right now, but it almost doesn't even matter what it is here. Is it, you got a decent market in Romania, so that You feel like you'll get a job?
Maybe. I don't know, man. I feel like everybody is like that with everything. Like if you didn't make it yet, everybody who did make it, they'll make it sound like it's something, like just blow it out of proportions, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, there was this guy, well, multiple actually, because I feel like there's this common denominator between all of them, which is this advice of, oh yeah, if you want to get rich as a computer, I mean, I don't know, software engineer, you gotta change jobs every fucking 1.5 years or 2 years.
No, yeah, I don't know about that. And I got family in Italy, and my understanding at this point is that a lot of young folks are leaving Italy to go get work. It sounds like in the north there's a lot of jobs and there's a lot of businesses, and it's harder in the south.
In the north, meaning like Sweden and all that?
Like Milan and, I don't know, maybe Turin.
Oh.
I was just reading up on that at one point. There's a lot more business. For your master's, where do you want to go? If you had to choose right now, where would you want to go to do that?
To choose right now, well, somewhere that, a place that they speak English so I can, understand them. For example, I mean, UK, that's probably it.
Yeah.
America is just too far. Like, it would be
Yeah.
cool if I could, but it's so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I can't believe how many people around the world speak English. And this podcast wouldn't even exist if so many people weren't so good at English. Like, I'm impressed, and it has really hit me. I've only been doing this for about 2 or 3 months. You have very good English.
Me? Or
You.
people in general?
Yeah. You.
Oh.
And yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And when I went to Italy in March, and I got to meet my cousins, my cuginos, and we all had a heck of a time communicating. And then one of my cousins showed up, and he could kind of translate for everybody. I was like, thank goodness. Thank God this guy showed up. And I couldn't believe how well he spoke. I was like, this guy speaks better than I do.
Yeah, honestly, I remember like the first time I came here the first time I found this site and I heard an American speaking, because obviously I don't know if my English got better, but definitely my accent got better.
Oh, sure.
Because that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, it's like such a hit, because the thing is, Americans in movies, I don't know, I feel like Americans in real life on this site, even you, I don't know, they sound more American than Americans in movies in a way. I don't know how to say it.
I kind of know what you mean, and then that's just a funny way to phrase it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. I also, at one point, I called the dude, and I ended up in Chicago, and the guy on the phone was from Serbia, and he had, you could tell there was a little bit of an accent, but he could even kind of, a little bit, obviously, like a Serbian accent, but he also had an American accent, and he had all the slang down. That was funny. I was like, wait, this guy, he had been in America for a while, or, at least a few years, but I wonder if I sound more American than Americans in the movies. You listen to the old movies, they sound like they're from England. Kind of weird.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, aside from like a few shows that are specifically made so that they talk a bit more normal, I feel like all the American movies is like they don't portray how Americans actually speak like normally. I don't know.
Yeah, and all movies are bullshit. Like, if
It feels like it's everything is so formal.
Yeah.
In every movie.
Yeah.
Like even when they cuss or when they see something bad, I feel like it's just so formal. I honestly, if I was in that movie and that actually happened, I wouldn't be offended at all, just by the way they cuss in. But then you talk to an actual American and it's like, oh my God, he's a different species. What the hell?
Wait, what do you mean about the cussing? Or that's funny.
I'm about anything. I don't know, just the way they speak. It's just a certain swag.
Oh, funny.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
it's like it depends on like where you live as well. Like I talked to somebody from Texas,
and
it was such an experience. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not understand one word, but I had such a good time.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I talked to somebody in Louisiana, and I had there were plenty of words that I couldn't even hear. I was like, wait, what was that accent? And then up in the Northeast,
Yeah, you were like, wait, am I the foreigner?
yeah,
Oh, shit.
I was like, I apologized. I'm like, you're not doing anything wrong. It's my ears that can't hear you, you know. But, and that's the funny thing too. People will talk about Americans. It's like, there's a lot of Americans, and even within the city I live in, there's a lot of different types of human beings. I mean, we always try to boil it down and try to figure out what is this person like. And I wouldn't be surprised if Americans do talk too much. Or when they go to Europe, they're loud and they talk a lot. And
Yeah. No, I remember that. I was on a train at some point going from the capital home, and uh, there were these two Americans, right? And they were just, man, I don't know, man. They were having so much fun. I don't know. Like they were just talking to everybody. They were like trying to get this girl, and she was obviously very excited because as a Romanian, you don't usually speak to Americans.
yeah,
And she was like, "Oh my God."
yeah, right. And maybe they were loud and they were talkative, and
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't know.
No, we were like that. At one
Crazy.
point when we were in Italy, we were sitting at a restaurant, and the whole family, I have 2 kids, everybody had a little bit of wine. And then we got pretty talkative, and there was a couple next to us that I think were from Germany or something. And they
Right.
did not want to talk a whole lot. They were kind of private people. And then by the end, they were just staring at us the entire time. And I jokingly, my wife and I, we would tell the kids, hey, we got to act like we're European right now. Like we're in this little restaurant. Let's not be too loud. And so now, even in our life now, we say, hey, act like you're European. Like just chill out a little bit because you're being obnoxious or you're being too loud. So I don't think we
Yeah.
ruined anybody's meal, but we did decide to tone it down at one point and just kind of quiet down a little bit. But I felt like we were in a zoo. I felt like the people next to us were watching us just exist. I don't know if they were judging us or what. It's all good, you know. Sometimes
Yeah, well, it's crazy because in America, I assume, I don't know, I've never been, but I assume it's probably a very loud environment, maybe. Um, and you just adapt to it,
yeah,
and then you come to Europe, which is the exact opposite,
yeah,
and obviously you're the outsider.
yeah, yeah. Well, I live in the Midwest, and there's a lot of Nordic folks here. There's a lot of German folks here, and a lot of those folks can be very private, and
Mm,
they're not introverted, but they can be reserved, and they can be kind of private, and just once they are comfortable, they'll talk your ear off. But I happen to be in a place where the people are not necessarily super gregarious or loud, and then of course, if you're out in the country, I spend a lot of time out in the country. I live in the city, but I like to go fishing and hunting. So then I get to meet all sorts of different folks out there, and I appreciate city folks and I appreciate country folks. But
mm.
yeah, it's too easy to try to boil down. Like if you try to tell me what is a Romanian like, what is a Romanian like, and then you're then missing all the diversity in maybe in the north they're different than in the south, and you know.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm kind
Every
of
country
rambling.
has a diversity.
Yeah.
You're right.
And we're all human beings anyway, so
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing, is that when people bother to not argue with each other, they can just kind
You
of
know,
yeah.
for the longest time, I thought genuinely, like this was a genuine thought in my mind. I thought that every single American living, every single one,
Yeah.
had a gun.
Guess what? You're right.
Poor belief of
No.
mine.
I'm only joking. I imagine I could see why you would think that.
Yeah.
I totally get it. We probably give that
So,
impression.
yeah. I
There
mean, do
are
you have a gun?
I have several, but
That's amazing.
I don't like I don't carry a handgun, and I have long guns for going and shooting deer and rabbits and birds.
Oh,
So
okay, right.
yeah, the only time I ever even load a gun, I'm out in the country. Like I don't feel if somebody wants to break into my house to steal my TV, I'm just going to tell them to hurry up, and I'll be like, here's my laptop too. Now get the hell out of my house. I do not ever want to shoot somebody under any circumstances, even in self-defense or whatever. So when
Bro, in self-defense, I would shoot.
oh,
Self-defense?
if you
Shit.
had to, I'm just saying that would also
Yeah.
be pretty traumatic. And then,
I mean, yeah, obviously, but it's just, if it's fight or flight, it's fight or flight.
yep, and I got chased by a bison.
By a bison.
A bison.
Crazy.
My son and I about a year and a half ago, and I had
Oh, and your son. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Now this is a stupid tangent. I just took this in the wrong direction. I'm pretty sure, but I had
That's fine. I want to hear the bison story.
we both had
So
we had shotguns, and we were in Nebraska.
both you and I forgot that your son is not. It's my bad. I imagine like a 5-year-old with a shotgun.
No, he did that too, but now he was a young man, and then the bison took to chasing us, and the guns weren't loaded anyway because we were passing through a reserve to get to. It's a long story, but I thought I don't want to shoot a bison in the face. I would rather run away from
But
it.
your son was giddy to shoot it.
Yeah, no, he. I told him to run. I might even have to cut this whole story because it's just silly. But I was holding his shotgun when he was taking a picture of the scenery. Then the bison came on. And then once it started running at us, we both ran. I had a shotgun in each hand. So I was running very slowly.
Damn, guns blazing, two shotguns in each hand.
Yeah, but they were unloaded because I didn't think on the
Damn.
reserve. I didn't think it was a federal reserve. I didn't think we could even load them until we got to the hunting ground.
Bro, if I was the bison, I'd shit myself.
I know, but I just had to
John
run.
Wick type shit.
It almost got me, and then, but I just had to make sure that my son got across the bridge, so he did.
Man, on a real note though,
Yeah.
like running from a bison with your father, damn, that's like wholesome shit.
It actually was. It was, and we had once we ran across this damn bridge, we got to the hunting grounds at that point where you could go hunt. Like you couldn't hunt on the preserve, and we got to the gate, and I was like, dude, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here right now. And he was also pretty traumatized. We were in a kind of a narrowing, so the bison totally got the drop on us. And then we once we ran across, and the bison almost got me. I mean, it was within a few feet, because I can only run probably 12 miles an hour anyway. Maybe that's not
Huh.
So then we just got the hell out of there, and we went into town and we ate, and then it's now a great family memory, but we were pretty traumatized for a few hours.
Damn,
I think
that's
it scared the hell
crazy.
out of us. I've never had to run for my life. That's what we were literally doing, and it's now a great memory. It's a great memory. But
Yeah, you're like, I'll do it again.
yeah, I don't ever want to go back to that place. I don't.
Uh,
And
Makes sense.
what's funny is we had seen a bison on the way in, and it was about 120 yards away, and I was like, this is plenty close. Like, I don't want to get any closer than this. And we had to stand in one spot for like 40 minutes to wait for the bison to go away. And then once we went down to the river, that's when the one snuck up on us.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a little tangent there, but I do appreciate guns. I really enjoy going out and getting meat. You know, when we shoot a couple deer, we get 100 pounds of venison in the freezer.
What do you do with all that meat?
We just eat it. Oh, you know what? We give some away. Like every year we probably give away 20 or 30 pounds, 20 pounds. And then we make sausages out of some of it. And so when we have people over, we'll cook up a bunch of sausages and, brats. But
Yeah, because it's crazy. Because it's like it's a whole deer. Like
Yeah.
it's huge.
yeah, that's what my kids love the most is the venison. Do you hunt or fish or anything?
No, I
No.
don't hunt or fish.
Oh, just had to ask. I love
Yeah.
that, but no. So and
I mean, I would
venison is
love
good,
to,
healthy.
honestly.
Go on.
It sounds really, really fun to hunt.
You know, the word fun for me sometimes it is fun. It's really fulfilling. I mean, there's a feeling that I get when I actually take the animal and then have to work so hard to get the meat and get the animal back up to the car and then butcher it. It does make you value food more. I should say it makes me value food more. And it is pretty fulfilling. I mean, it is something that we're wired to do in a way. Human beings are
Actually,
omnivores.
I do have a question. What was your wife's reaction when you and your son pulled up to the house and was like, "Honey, I was chased by a bison today."
No, I have we called them as soon as we got back to the car. We were maybe like 280 miles away from 400 miles away from home. And we
That's
called them right when we
so
got back, and my wife and my daughter were dying laughing. They could not stop laughing because,
really.
yeah, at that point, for one thing, they didn't know how frightened we were. And we were already kind of starting to laugh about it ourselves because since we weren't hurt, we were like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. But my family was dying. They thought it was hilarious. Then we sent them a photo of me next to the sign that said, "Beware bison." Before we went in there, we took a funny picture of me next to the sign. So, oh,
Damn.
yeah. That was, I figured if I was going to get chased by something, it'd be a bear or a moose up north. But no.
Damn, bro, you're living the life.
You know what? Actually, I think I am. You mean with the hunting and just,
Yeah, like just having a family, going hunting.
yeah.
That just sounds so cool.
It really,
Having a stable job.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like just genuinely living the life.
Yeah. You know what's funny that a lot of people who are wealthy would look at me and say, this dude doesn't have much. I got a crappy little boat and I got a nice house, but I do feel blessed and I feel like I have everything I need and my kids are healthy and we never have to think about food. We don't have to think about the temperature of our house. It's always nice and warm in the house. I mean, I really do have it made. And, that's, I think, hopefully you're on track to get to that at some point. If you stick with your studying, you'll be there too.
Hmm.
And start hunting. Then you'll have the perfect life. Once you start hunting.
Oh wow, I just clicked on a video of yours.
Yeah.
And the sound quality of your microphone in the video is so much better than what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you know what? God dang it. I'm on the Bluetooth. Are you willing to try something with me? I know you might have to run.
Oh
So
hell yeah.
I have to. Let me get on the USB.
I
I'm on the Bluetooth. Let me see if I can make the USB work. All right, give me 1 second.
okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? How about now?
Compared to how I hear you now,
Okay.
it's like before I was hearing you from the like fifth dimension.
Okay.
Now I'm like, damn.
I just found. Is it a lot better?
Oh yeah, it is.
That's awesome. All
Yep.
right. I had to, the Bluetooth is okay, but now I'm wired right into my laptop. Perfect. Thank you for working with me on that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to hear?
Huh.
I want to hear the story of how you met your wife.
Oh, all right. I used to hang out at this coffee shop, and I think in like 1995,
Damn,
we crossed
man.
paths. Yeah, I know I'm old. We crossed paths, and we all hung out one night, and I was like, "Damn, she's really pretty," but I was still pretty awkward myself, so I didn't know what to do, and we just hung out that one night with a few other people, and then what's funny is that back at that same coffee shop a few years later, we then were both in there and we kind of just started chit-chatting, and she was like, yeah, we should hang out sometime. We wanted to like play computer games or something like that.
Wait, she initiated it?
No, we both
Crazy.
initiated. We were sitting there talking and we both were just like, you know what, this is pretty cool. So we I don't remember who initiated, but we were both obviously on board. But then we still didn't connect. We just couldn't connect. And you know what? I gotta be honest. Back in those times, I was frightened of the concept of a relationship. And
Makes sense.
yeah, but I mean, it's a little unfortunate, and so I kind of bounced around, and I just could never get to the point where I would get serious and really tried. I was actually intimidated at the concept of having a real relationship.
So how old were you like at that time?
I was probably 21, 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we started hanging out again. But then I wasn't ready, and I was actually quite intimidated at the concept. I was like, oh no, this could actually be a thing. So I actually kind of ran away from it. In 2001, she went to Chile, which is where she was in exchange school. And we had been hanging out, and when she was gone, I was like, oh, I think I'm in love with her. And I told my buddy, I had a conversation with my buddy, and I was like, I'm in love with her. And he's like, well, he said, you need to tell her. It was a great moment, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, you need to tell her then. You got to tell. She got back from Chile, and she was like, I'm moving to Chile. And I'm going to sell all my shit and just move, because she loved it down there. And I was like, I remember we were sitting on these couches, and I was like, listen, if you move to Chile, then we might never be able to find out, if we could have had something between us. And so she, and I expressed my love to her. Now, she was embarrassed by this and put a pillow over her face. But she had a crush on me back in the day. We almost took turns having crushes on each other. So then at that point, that was the turning point when I told her. And I opened up, and then she decided to give me a shot, and now she regrets it every day because she could have been in Chile.
That's a good end of the story.
Yeah, that's just a funny thing. No, we both actually feel like we got a lot.
Yeah, we both actually regret it.
No. That's what we would
It's not
say.
just her.
Yeah, right. It's mutual. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
No, we actually feel like incredibly blessed because you know what? There's a little bit of luck. If you get a partner, a husband or wife, and things actually last for a period of time, there's some luck involved there. And you have to work on it. So we have both. So the whole thing feels lucky. But you like that story?
Yeah, I rated a 10 out of 10. I liked it.
Great. And
Yeah.
do you have a special someone in your life, or you still?
No.
Good. You
I
gotta
don't have
focus on
any.
your studying anyway.
I mean, yeah, I'm also not 50, so I got some time.
Yeah, you got plenty of time
to find someone. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no rush, and then hopefully you'll be done with school in 5 years or so, huh?
Well, yeah, when you say it like that sounds like a lot of time.
Yeah, I guess you didn't need to hear that, but
Yeah.
it's less than 6. No, it'll go by quick, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know. It's not like I'm trying to it's not like I hate it or anything. It's actually a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's plenty of work, huh?
I mean, it is, but it's fun as well. It's like sometimes it's like you're full of work, and sometimes it's just like fun time.
Yeah. And you're around a bunch of other young people at the university?
Yeah, that's in the dorms.
Is that fun?
I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're having the same experience as my son. Yeah.
The tuition in America is also like huge.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed. I love my country, and I'm also disappointed in my country for all sorts of reasons. And the tuition is one of them. You can love your country and be disappointed in it. We're just gonna have to figure out how to get him through. Maybe once the podcast gets a sponsor, and then I can pay for my son's college.
I don't know, man, because like you keep talking about your son, and it's like I don't know. You obviously love him a lot, but the question I have is like, because to me it's so I cannot comprehend how, for example, if I had a girlfriend, even for a long time, just coming up with this like idea of let's have a baby.
Oh, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how like did you two discuss it beforehand?
Yeah.
And like if so, for like how long?
Yeah, right. And so when we got married, I think we were talking about it, and my wife kept joking with me for a few months after we got married that, oh, we should make a baby. Come on, it's time. Let's get a baby.
Okay.
Come on, let's
Okay,
do
so
it.
she really wanted it.
Yeah, or at least she was toying with it, joking around with the idea,
Oh, okay.
and then all of a sudden I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it, let's make a baby. And she was like,
Okay, so it's just like, okay.
yeah, it took like 6 months after we got married, and then and at that point she was actually starting to wonder, like, should we have kids? We've had some challenges in our life, we have some difficulties that we've gone through in our families. There's some mental illness and some even some alcoholism and stuff, and so she started to really question it. Then all of a sudden she got pregnant very quickly, and it's like, well,
Well, yeah, that's really how it works.
yeah, and it's also the hormones. I mean, we are wired up to make babies. It's sometimes that it hits you, or if somebody gets to the right age. My wife is 29, and then she probably held a baby at some point and said, "Yep, I'm doing this. I want this." It just kind of a switch flipped, and then we pretty quickly got the baby, got our first baby. Then we were blessed with the second one. That was not too long after. So, and I was like, "That's plenty. I think 2 is plenty."
I mean, yeah.
And we both agreed that two was just right for us. And it's funny, there were times where I thought in my life, God dang, was I cut out to have kids? Can I even do this? Is this something that I can even pull off? And it was a little scary, but I gotta tell you a quick story. I have a cousin who has a baby on the way, and he expressed that he was a little anxious about it. And that's totally normal. It's bringing another human being into the world. And back in the 90s, I worked at this little corner store, and I used to flip burgers and make gyro sandwiches and stuff. And I went back to visit those guys, and it was like a second family for me. These folks were from Brazil, and they were like a second family for me. And I went back in there when I had a baby coming, and I talked to my guy Jamal, and I was like, "Man, I'm nervous. I don't know how this is going to work out." And he said, "Tom, if you bring a baby into the world, God is going to take care of everything. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is going to work out." And I'm not a religious guy, but when he said that to me, it actually had an impact and made me feel calmer about the whole thing. And he just kind of told me everything's going to work out. So then my cousin, who has a baby on the way, I just told him that story. And he was like, "Gosh, that kind of helps." And neither one of us are very religious, but that's just a fun
Yeah,
story.
I'm not religious either.
Yeah. Are you spiritual at all? Are you?
I don't know. I have questioned it maybe when I was younger, but I just don't really care, honestly.
Yeah. Right.
About that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I don't believe, but I was raised as a Christian, and there's still a lot of things that Jesus talked about that are just brilliant, and I just love, and the words guide my life, even though I don't believe that he was divine or anything.
No, I think like the Bible itself is like a really good book to read, obviously. Because I'm really into philosophy.
Ah, sure.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could compare philosophy with religion, but I don't know. It's both are talking about ethics and stuff.
Yeah.
So
No, I can see that.
yeah.
And some of the things that Jesus had to say, especially if he kept it really simple, or some of those statements like God saying, "How you treat your fellow people, that's how you treat me. And if you want to respect me or honor me, then treat the people around you well." And I think that's pretty simple and pretty straightforward and valuable as heck. So,
Bro, you have such good energy. I swear to God,
Oh,
like you sound like such a happy man. Honestly,
I am.
I want to have that energy all the time.
Well, and I feel the same about you. Like, for real, I appreciate it. I do. I have a perfect life. I was telling somebody this in the fall. I was like, my life is perfect. I don't have gobs of money. I don't have a fancy car, but everything is perfect, and I believe that. So,
I mean, honestly, after it's a show, but after watching Snowfall,
yeah.
I realized that I don't know if I want to be rich. I don't know if I want to have too much money.
Right.
I don't know. I just want to have enough,
Yeah.
but not too much.
Yeah. An adequate amount of money is adequate. And that's in the Bible too, that if you get too much money, it's going to be hard to get into heaven. And
Yeah.
that's not literal. That there's a reason for that. Yeah.
Yeah, because in that show is like it's portrayed very well about how at first the show is about slinging cocaine in America,
Okay.
but then it quickly delves into like how getting money, how getting really rich affects like the main character who just gets obsessed with the idea of money. Because
Yeah.
I think is probably very real. Like if you just spend a lot of time chasing something,
Mm-hmm.
you forget why you started chasing it,
Right.
and you just don't stop chasing this like more
Yeah.
concept. Yeah.
And then people are just chasing that little that currency. And I
Yep.
think especially the people that just work in money and make money by moving money around, it's like, what? I want to work my whole life. I don't want to not work. I think that will probably, that's something that might actually kill us if we don't work. I don't want to have to work 80 hours a week, but and the more money you get, the more problems you have. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Right? I think it's true.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly why I said it, because I also think it's like really true.
Yeah. And the bottom line is that if the glass seems like it's half full or half empty, it's not that the glass is actually, maybe the
Yeah.
glass.
No, I get it. It's like up to perception.
Yeah. And here's what I'm saying is if you just get a smaller glass, then the glass will be full. If you have reasonable expectations of what you need and want, then your life is full. Like I really believe
Yeah,
that.
I've heard that thing about just people like whenever they're doing good, they just up their box of living in a way.
Yeah.
For example, if you make a certain amount of money and you spend, an I don't know, for example, 12,000. I'm just pulling that out of
Sure.
my ass on whatever the fuck on going to restaurants, just
Yeah.
aside from the bills you have to pay, basically is what I'm trying to say. And then as you make more money, you up that box of living,
Yeah.
which is not good. It's
Yeah.
like you spend more money recklessly, you
Yeah.
buy more stuff that you just don't need.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
yeah.
that stuff never makes you happy. It gives you a little
Hmm.
dopamine, and then it feels good for a little bit, and then it just becomes one more thing that you own. And
Yeah.
I've done that. That's why I know how that works, because I've gone down that road and a little bit of consumerism, and now I don't want any more stuff. I got a new podcast deck here. That's all I need. You helped me get the audio right.
Hell
I
yeah, I did.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um,
So like, why did you start this podcast?
well, here's the deal. In 2015, I think I had the idea for it, and I finally, in 2016, started recording. And I was like,
2015, 10 years ago?
yeah.
Whoa.
Well, and I'm a dude who has a hard time following through sometimes. And I got
Okay.
some, and sometimes it's related to mental health, like for real. I'm gonna be honest. That I had this idea. Some people were like, "Oh, that's a great idea," and I recorded maybe on like 5 occasions. I found some of the masters the other day on a hard drive, and I only had a few bits that were like worth listening to, and I recorded in my basement just with a phone, just a demo it. And then I just kind of set it off to the side, and I lost interest. And 2019, I was gonna restart it, and I got freaked out about like waivers and shit, and I was like, I don't want to get sued. Like, can I do this? What if I publish content? It felt like too much. And then in the fall, I played one of my demos for a producer, and the producer was like, "Yeah, there might be something there. Let's start recording it and see how it goes." And the concept is simply call people around the world, be kind, have a conversation. If it goes nowhere, it goes nowhere. Our conversation has gone somewhere, and I appreciate the hell out of that. And so just started recording only in December, and now at this point, for creative reasons and just to keep things going better, I have a studio in my basement now. So yeah.
That's cool, man. That's just cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's changing my life, actually. I'm not even kidding you that, you expressed that you really enjoyed talking to me, and some people have said, wow, you really made my day. I talked to somebody in Long Island, New York last night, and he was like, man, I really appreciate you calling me. And I'm thinking, I appreciate being able to call you and just having this conversation. Like it really, I think it's changed my outlook, and it's made me feel more connected. And the thing is, these phones that we have, you know, sometimes actually ruin our human connection, or they make us focus on the phone. We're not even calling anybody. It's not even a phone. The devices that we have, they're just.
I don't know. Sometimes I just forget how old you are, and then you say stuff like these phones that we have. I was like, this.
And I sound old. That's funny.
Yeah,
These telephones that we have. What's your name, by the way?
these telephones.
Did we even
What?
do that?
My name?
Yeah.
It's Cezar.
Cezar. Oh, that's a cool name. Jeez.
Thanks. What's your name? It's Tom.
Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cezar. I'm very glad that I was able to call you on this telephone.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
You're a good kid, Cezar. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
I have to go in about 3 minutes. Oh my lord, we talked for an hour.
I mean, I was about to say that I also have to go because I have to study more.
The way the show works is that even if down the road you're like, you know what, I don't like this content anymore. I don't want the content to be up. I didn't kill it, did I?
What?
I'm an old man. I just got turned around here with all these browser windows. I really did. I thought I killed the app. Down the road, even if you are like, yeah, you know what, bro, I don't like the content anymore. I don't want you to publish it. Then I just take it down.
It's fine, Grandpa. You can publish it. I allow you.
Call me Gramps. That's great. All right, then I'm gonna find you. And then as you're getting through your degree, I can call you up and you can help me out with some of this technological stuff. I'll be like, Cezar, I need some help here, Cezar.
Yeah.
I can't get my Bluetooth going.
Yeah. Cezar, what was my WhatsApp password? What's my I don't know.
Cezar, my computer keeps telling me that I got a virus. I need your help. And then you'll have
Cezar, my computer wants an update. What do I do?
Yeah. What should I do? What should I do? Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, man, shit, I appreciate it, man. This was a great conversation. And
Yep.
actually, you asked me more questions than I asked you. Sometimes I try to go the other way, but I appreciate it.
This conversation was really, really fun.
Yeah. No, I feel the same.
We could talk more sometime, maybe.
From time to time, I call back and check in with folks. And if I ever call you, maybe I'll send you a message on Instagram.
Yeah, that would be better.
Yeah, and then we just connect and figure out how to have another call so we can follow up and I can see if
Yep.
If you're getting good grades or not. You gotta stick to your grades.
Yeah, I do.
All right, brother. I'll be in touch. I really appreciate it. This was great.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, see ya, man.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.